Hello all, 14th of April 2016, Dan here from Essex, United Kingdom. We've got amazing weather. Just going to shut up for a little bit and listen to the birds. Lovely, isn't it? So anyway, the purpose of today's video is to show you how to do an espalier with regards to a fruit tree. So you can see in front of me here, I have a pear tree. Now, excuse me, the variety of this is a pear on wood. Now, I've never grown these before, but I was given this tree by a very close friend last year, and he purchased this, and it wasn't quite what he wanted, but I looked at the shape of it, and it's pretty good for an espalier. So I'll show you what I've done. Now, this is against a fence panel, as you can see. There's a proper fence here. You've got concrete posts and a concrete gravel board at the bottom. The tree is set in the middle of the fence, and you can see it then comes up, and these shoots are then tied in onto a piece of trellis which is attached to the fence. So the way that I've tied it is I've used just some garden twine, and what you want to do when you're creating an espalier is you don't want the branches too close together. So you can see here I've left a good 10 to 15 centimetres because, of course, all being well, this is going to have pears hanging off of it, and you don't want them too close together. You want to allow air to circulate in between the branches, because then you will be less likely to get disease. You really do not want disease. Then with regards to selecting a rootstock, for a fence panel like this, you want to select a tree with sort of medium vigour. So with regards to a pear tree, quince C would be good. With an apple tree, you could maybe look at M26 or something like that, or even 106. But you just have to make sure it doesn't run away with you too much. You don't want one that's too vigorous if you're only going to have it, you know, confined to a small fence like this. Of course, if you want to have a huge espalier, then go for a bigger rootstock, because then you can train it and it will get rather large. So you can see the blossom here. So hopefully we'll have some pears off of this tree this year, rather. Now, of course, if you're going to be buying a tree from a garden centre that's not already trained, you can buy trees that are already trained as espaliers, but of course you'll pay a little bit more for that. You want to be looking at one with where the branches start relatively low down, because you can imagine if there was branches coming off of here, you'd of course get more fruit, but you'd have to select your tree carefully for that. So if you could get one where the branches start growing out of here and then tie them in, you'd be absolutely laughing. Now, of course, I was given this tree for free, and you can't necessarily choose in situations like that, but the top bit was more or less perfect for an espalier. Now, it's against this south-facing fence, so of course it gets very warm here, which should help as well. Now, I hope this is helpful, and espaliers can be great because if you've only got a small garden or you want to have separate varieties, I mean, I could take you down for a little tour just down this part of the garden. Now, I've got a little pear tree, sorry, no, this is an apple tree down here, one that I've grafted myself. You can see that was a graft. Oh, that borage is sharp. Irritant. This is another apple tree that I've grafted myself. This is a little gala tree. So you can see we're up to 3 varieties already. Now this is Not the most vigorous tree, but I've stated before you get about 10 apples off of this, which is quite amazing. And then we come to the pear tree I showed you earlier. And here we have a kiwi. Down here is a little grapevine cutting that I took. And we've got another grape along here. This takes up 2 panels. Another grape down there, cutting that I took. And another one here that's also been grown from a cutting. So as you can see, if you don't want big trees in your garden, you can espalier them up against your fence, if you have a fence. So even if you only have a very small garden, so let's say your garden is from this panel here to the back, which is 3 panels, you could in effect have 3 trees, 1 per panel. Now imagine that. So there really is so many things you can do if you know what you're doing. Okay, take care and hope everyone out there's okay. I'm quite relaxed today because I've got the first day off of work for a very long time. We're not actually doing anything, so that's all good. Speak soon.